With the NFL trade deadline coming up on November 1st, does Eagles general manager Howie Roseman have a big move up his sleeve? According to an ESPN NFL insider, that could be the case. That's what we're talking about on today's show, and it's all presented by Manscaped. Jalen Hurts has been balling out all throughout the 2022 NFL season. If you want to ball out in the bedroom, do so with Manscaped. 20% off, free shipping, manscaped.com/chat, and the promo code chat. So coming your way on today's show, we're going to get to that Jeremy Fowler report about Howie Roseman maybe looking out across the NFL, looking to make a big move to improve this roster. Could one of those trades include a deal for Melvin Gordon? And are the Philadelphia Eagles linked to Cam Akers, a pretty appealing former second-round pick who's fallen out of favor with the Los Angeles Rams? First, though, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Can we get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the 2022 NFL season? We're at 34,000 right now, and reasons to subscribe: informative, entertaining analysis, videos every single day during the season, during the offseason. This is the standard for Eagles coverage here on YouTube. So lock us in, fly Eagles fly, and hit that red subscribe button right now. Stay scheming. The real ones know. It's a great song from back in the day, Drizzy Drake. But is Howie Roseman scheming with the NFL trade deadline coming up on November 1 at 4 o'clock Eastern? And it's going to transpire after Week 8. And when it comes to making deals in the NFL, whether it be on draft night, in free agency, leading up to the NFL trade deadline, you can never sleep on Howie Roseman. That's exactly what we've said, and that's exactly what Jeremy Fowler of ESPN said in a recent report. Philadelphia Eagles general manager Howie Roseman is always lurking, armed with quality offensive line depth that teams covet. Roseman listens to every possible deal and already has an extra first-round pick in next year's NFL draft. Will he impose his front office will? And with Howie, you really can never rule it out. And this is why I respect Roseman. He has made up for his mistakes, and I think that over time, Howie Roseman has begun to be a smarter general manager with how he operates as a front office executive, but also his eye for talent. He's always had this innate ability to rob other teams in the NFL when making a trade, and he's always aggressive. He goes to sleep thinking about how to make the Philadelphia Eagles better. Then when that alarm hits, he wakes up thinking of ways to make the Philadelphia Eagles better. And if you go back to the 2017 season, which has a lot of similarities here to this current season, October 31st, 2017, the Eagles were in a good spot. They had a good backfield led by LeGarrette Blount. Corey Clement was really running the football effectively. They still made a roster upgrade when they didn't really necessarily have to. They traded for Jay Ajayi, and could something similar happen this year with the Eagles, a lone unbeaten team in the NFL? And hopefully when the NFL trade deadline comes up after Week 8, they'll still be unbeaten. You think about this roster right now, and you think about the Eagles team needs. I don't think that there's one that's glaring, but I'd like to see maybe an upgrade at punt return or kick returner. Britton Covey, he's really just been okay. He was awesome at Utah, but is he cut out to be that explosive guy like Turpin was for the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football? When C.J. Gardner-Johnson went out, this defense struggled and staggered a little bit, like a Bernard Hopkins uppercut. Philly legend, by the way, go Phils. So safety depth, after Kayvon Wallace came in, that defense struggled. So I think safety depth is another need. Corner depth is as well, because right now, Darius Slay, Avonte Maddox, James Bradbury, terrific. But if one of them were to go down, you might need an upgrade at that position as well. We've talked about edge rusher, and we've talked about running back. We're going to talk more about running backs coming up right around the corner. First, though, will Howie make a move? Should Howie make a move? I want you to treat the comment section like a 94 WIP or 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Talk Radio call-in line and just go off. Show off that football intellect. It's crystal ball time. Debate it, sound off. Let me know and share your thoughts in the comment section. As I said at the top of the show, Philadelphia Eagles Now is presented by the fine folks at Manscaped. And with Halloween coming up, Michael Myers sure is scary, but the last thing you need is to be hairy this Halloween. Luckily, our friends at Manscaped launched their 4th generation performance package to make sure your pumpkins Get the ultimate carving experience on this spooky day. Turn your bite-sized treat into a king-size candy and join the 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by heading to manscaped.com/chat for 20% off and free shipping. Have you ever tried to trim your balls and it turned into a Freddy Krueger film? That's what happens when you use cheap razors. Well, luckily, Manscaped here to save the day and make sure you're feeling your best in your costume. Unlock your confidence with the Performance Package. Inside, you'll find the holy grail of men's grooming items. They made it easy for you to upgrade your grooming routine, and you can start balling out in the bedroom like Jalen Hurts has been balling out on the football field. Manscaped.com/chat, promo code chat. 20% off on all of the best men's grooming products. So going back to that original point about Philadelphia maybe needing a running back, could it come in the way of Melvin Gordon? This honestly would be very similar to trading for Jay Ajayi. At that point, Jay Ajayi was probably the better back, but in terms of overall need, you don't really need a running back, in my opinion, because I like Kenneth Gainwell, I like Boston Scott. Miles Sanders has proved the detractors wrong. You could use a little bit more depth, though. Melvin Gordon was benched in the Broncos' Monday Night Football loss against the Los Angeles Chargers, relegated to running back 3 behind Latavius Murray and Mike Boone. He had just 3 carries and 8 yards in the first quarter. My problem, though, with trading for Melvin Gordon is his lack of ball security. It's not only a problem this year, it's been a problem for a little while for the man that they call Flash. At Wisconsin, he was great. Couple of really good years with the Los Angeles Chargers. But throughout his career, he's had trouble holding on to the football. And a reason why the Eagles have been so spectacular this year and why their margin for victories has been so high, their turnover differential is extraordinarily high right now. And Melvin Gordon leads all running backs with 4 fumbles. That's twice as many as any other running back in the NFL. As for why he got benched, reporters asked him. He couldn't come up with an answer. This is what he had to say. To tell you exactly what happened, I can't tell you because I don't know. No one mentioned anything to me. Just waiting for my number to get called so I can go out there, help my teammates. It was a close game. I felt like I could have made a difference, but apparently not. And Melvin Gordon as a backup running back, that's probably where he fits best now. He's 29 years old. He's playing on the vet min, so you wouldn't have to pay him all that much. But if Melvin Gordon wants to play more, if he wants to go to another team, to have an expanded role, my advice for you, Flash, don't put the pill on the carpet. Teams that lose the turnover battle in the NFL lose 80% of games. That is very sizable. So you don't turn the football over, maybe you'll play a little bit more. And playing hasn't really been a problem for Melvin Gordon. He's been able to do a lot of that. You look at his numbers the last 4 years, and even before this, he was putting up some solid digits. 2019, ran for 612 yards, and you look at the touchdowns here. Very similar to Jordan Howard. This guy just has a knack for finding the pylon. Unfortunately, inside the right area, he can just cough it up, but 8 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns. 8 touchdowns last year. And last year for Denver, solid season. He's not far removed from that. 203 carries, 918 yards, 4.5 yards per pop. There were some clips of him training on a beach this past summer with Tim's on. A little bit of a violation. I like Tim's, but training in them, a little bit weird. So, yeah, a little bit odd, but Melvin Gordon, nonetheless, as we pivot off of the jokes there, a solid back who won't cost literally anything in terms of giving up draft picks or on that salary. So let me ask you this before we shift gears to Cam Akers. Would you trade for Melvin Gordon? I want to see where you're at on this subject matter. 1 for yes, 0 for no. Let me know. As for Cam Akers, Sean McVay did something pretty odd because he didn't do anything to increase Cam Akers' trade value. He basically admitted that the Rams are trying to trade him. Here's what he had to say in a recent press conference. As of right now, I think the best option for all parties, I think, would be to explore if there's a good situation for him with another team. If that doesn't come to fruition, I would never say that him coming back and figuring out the best way to be able to utilize him and him being the best player he's capable of is off the table. I would never speak in absolutes like that. There is a possibility that we could try to help him look for a fresh start with another team. That's something that we've explored. If that doesn't come to fruition, then we'll figure out a solution on how to best move forward with him here. And those will be things that we'll work towards over the next couple of days. If you're asking me which back I'd rather go with, it's Cam Akers every day. Guy's still like 23 years old, not a lot of mileage on the tires. Back in 2020, after being a second-round pick out of Florida State during his rookie year, he displayed a lot of promise, carried it 145 times for 625, 2 tutties, 4.3 yards per catch. So he's an intriguing player who, going into last year, a lot of people had talked about as being this huge breakout candidate. He popped his Achilles, and miraculously, after popping his Achilles in training camp during the offseason program, the guy was back by the end of the season. So his recovery time was crazy. I'm not sure if he got a PRP injection or what, but it was crazy how fast he came back. This year, though, seldom used. Really not used much in this offense that, for Los Angeles, continues to struggle. They are 31st in rushing the football this year. And for Cam Akers, he's frustrated because Darrell Henderson, another high-round pick out of Memphis, has basically replaced him, and he's not playing a lot. 51 carries for 151 yards. The link between the Eagles and Cam Akers is there. Sporting News saying that the Philadelphia Eagles a very good fit. And in this offense, I do think that Cam Akers would be able to play pretty well, and he's cheap under contract next year as well. That's why I like him too, and on top of the age and the overall ability. Here's what Sporting News said. The Eagles have one of the most talented rosters in the NFL, but they could stand to add more at running back. Miles Sanders, 485 rushing yards and 4 tutties on the year, but neither Kenneth Gainwell or Boston Scott have cracked 100 behind them. Akers would provide the Eagles with another young, explosive playmaker at running back, playing behind an upgraded offensive line, and alongside a mobile quarterback like Jalen Hurts would provide Akers with more running room than he had with the Rams and could unlock his high-end potential. And that's exactly what he has, and that's why he's appealing. He has high-end potential. The Eagles' offensive line, best in the league. The Rams, because of overall talent and injuries, one of the worst. This scheme with running the football is also a lot better. Eagles have run the most RPOs in the NFL, and they run them better than anybody. And because of that, Jalen Hurts can run it effectively, so too can the backs. I will say this about that Sporting News piece. Like they said, oh, Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell, they haven't eclipsed 100 yards. That's pretty lazy box score hunting. Like Miles Sanders has been this bell cow back who is really running fleet of foot and has been able to be physical and has looked great. That's why a lot of other backs haven't really played. Boston Scott was also injured, but Cam Akers, no doubt, a better running back in terms of overall talent as compared to Kenneth Gainwell and Boston Scott. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section. If you want to hit me up on Twitter and IG, you can do that as well. I'm from Philly, like a lot of you know. Go Phils. Big game 1 tonight in the NLCS. Hopefully they come out victorious, and I love being able to chop it up with my fellow homies. I'm on Twitter at Chase_Senior. Same handle on Insta as well. Hit me up. Looking forward to hearing from you, and we'll catch you next time here on Eagles Now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.